of the Ackman situation. And if you're not, a little catch up to the situation, the Ackman and Quantum TV were having big drama about a month ago about something silly. It was like Elden Ring or something, and then big drama came up trying to, there was a rebuttal video where the Ackman disagreed with Quantum TV, and it sparked all this drama, and it inevitably led to the Ackman's channel being completely demonetized. Now, it's been a week or two since that happened, and honestly, I'm very disappointed with YouTube. As far as I know, his channel is still demonetized. I really thought they would have given him his monetization back by now. Obviously, this was a mistake on YouTube's end, and the majority of people will agree to that. The big people on the internet obviously agree with it, and most of their audiences seem to agree with it too. But yeah, he was completely demonetized. I'm taking a look at my analytics, and only like 2% of the people watching this video right now are actually subscribed to the channel. Consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. And his video talking about Quantum TV, the guy who is still on YouTube, the platform, his channel hasn't been deleted or anything, which is quite surprising to me considering how he's done some very hateful things and very vile comments towards like gay people, saying there should have been more Pulse nightclub shooting victims, and that's the kind of person they're letting on YouTube. And as far as I know, he still has his monetization. But a big update has just came through. Obviously, it's not about the Ackman's channel as much as I'd like to give an update about how the Ackman got his monetization back. That's not what happened. Actually, what happened is another big commentary channel, Optimus, was going to have a big meeting with YouTube, and he pretty much said that he was on Ackman's side, obviously, because I'd find it very hard to believe that he wouldn't be. I don't know anyone that's on the Quantum TV side, because he's obviously in the wrong. He's false copyright claiming, and he's saying derogatory, very violent hate speech kind of things. And so he was going to have this big meeting, and then since he was on the Ackman side, he said that he was going to bring up the Ackman situation to this YouTube rep, and it wasn't just any normal YouTube meeting. Now, obviously, Optimus is a huge YouTube channel. He has over 1.2 million subscribers. He's actually one of my favorite YouTube channels, but he's a major YouTube channel. He brings in a ton of views and a ton of money for YouTube. And so it wasn't just like a normal YouTube meeting with one of his representatives. He's saying it was apparently someone that was very high up in the YouTube chain, and so someone that could actually make changes to the YouTube company itself, which is pretty good for Optimus. That's a big opportunity. But after he publicly stated that he was going to bring up the Ackman situation to this YouTube representative that's high up in the company, as far as I know, the same day the big rep said they had to reschedule, and he said, oh, that's fine. Obviously things come up if you're that big in YouTube, you're that high up, obviously things come up. So he was fine with rescheduling, and then he was never messaged again. YouTube, this big major company, pretty much ghosted Optimus, which is absolutely crazy, and I think it's super unprofessional, especially for someone as big as Optimus. I mean, sure, 1 million subscribers in the grand scheme of YouTube isn't crazy big. There's plenty of YouTube channels with over 1 million subscribers, but I think the biggest part for Optimus is he brings in YouTube a lot of money with all the views he gets, and all he puts on ads on his thing, and he's getting like 10 to 20 million views a month, I think. So that's a pretty good chunk of change for YouTube. And then he also has memberships, and as far as I know, he makes a lot of membership content, so I think they split the membership fee between him and YouTube, so he's making them a lot of money through YouTube AdSense, and then also through YouTube memberships. And so to go someone that's that big on your platform is just, it's super unprofessional. And honestly, I was very surprised to hear this, because I want to say, oh, they maybe just forgot, but I find it somewhat hard to believe that a company that big is just gonna go oopsie daisy and not reschedule like a set meeting. I mean, especially after they brought it up, the rescheduling, and this happened. This happened like 2 weeks ago, and there's no update on it. They obviously haven't came back to Optimus and said, "Oh, sorry, we forgot." You know, they're just actually ghosting him, and that's very surprising. I mean, honestly, I thought they would reverse the changes between the Ackman's channel and give him his monetization back and re-enable his YouTube channel. You know, because he got videos taken down for community guideline strikes for something that's so silly. There was like a cucumber near Quantum TV's mouth, and they pretty much took down his entire video and gave him a community guideline strike for sexually provocative content, which is just absolutely ridiculous. There's so much worse things that are uploaded onto YouTube that get no hits. And they didn't even give him an option to edit it or do anything with the video. They just gave him a strike, which is really bad for your YouTube channel. And so I thought, well, this is probably like bots, you know, maybe it was a mistake on YouTube's end. And then there was a huge public outcry. I mean, I remember the hashtag Justice for Ackman was trending on Twitter worldwide for days. And I mean, YouTube just did pretty much nothing about it. You know, they let this Quantum TV copyright strike guy you stay on the platform, and then the Ackman's the one who suffers for talking out about it. And, you know, I remember I watched a Penguins, I don't remember what the guy's name is. Yeah, Penguins guy. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's like the Moist Charlie guy. He talked about the Ackman situation, and he pretty much said that he would thought the YouTube would reverse their decision, and he's pretty big. I mean, he has like 3 to 5 million subscribers, so he obviously knows what's happening to an extent on the backside of YouTube. So if he said it, I believed him, and I really did think that YouTube would reverse their switch, but you know, reverse what they did to the Ackman's channel, you know, give him monetization back. But it's been like almost a month now and nothing, you know, he's still not monetized again. And I think it's just ridiculous, especially because there was so much public outcry. No one agreed with YouTube for these ridiculous things. And then there's still no update on it, and so he's pretty much out of a full-time income. And you know, he said he's still interested in making videos, so you know, good for the Ackman. I hope he finds another way to monetize his channel, but he shouldn't have to when he really did nothing wrong. And you know, after I thought they would reverse their situation, and they canceled the meeting with Optimus for pretty much just saying, you know, that he should be given he should talk about the Ackman situation at his YouTube meeting. You know, they canceled it. I should have known then that they weren't going to reverse their situation, and they're pretty much just going to not address the situation at all and just hope people forget about it. But I think people are going to continue to talk about this situation, and I don't think YouTube can, you know, screw over their biggest creators without people remembering. And you know, every time they do something like this, I mean, I like YouTube as a platform, but I much prefer, you know, the creators on there. Like I like Optimus, and I like the Ackman. And so when they ghost Optimus for pretty much saying he just wants to talk about the Ackman situation, or when they completely demonetize the Ackman for pretty much no reason, I mean, it gives me a dirty feeling about YouTube, and it gives me the wrong feeling. And so if there's ever a major competitor to YouTube, you know, something that's similar in taste, you know, I might move to there, who knows. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.